Hi YouTube, welcome back to The Root Trees Are Dead. We have finished the main story, the main mystery, and now we're getting into the next part. I have no idea what to expect with this, so I'm excited to see what goes on. Ooh, rain sound. Love.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Clark. Probably not who you expected to be knocking, but life's funny sometimes. You've done well staying anonymous. It took us a while to track you down. A lot has happened in the last year. Far too much of it public. But there's stuff going on behind the scenes, too. I never wanted to be president. I'm not great with stress. And with my mother's deteriorating I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not here for sympathy. I'm here because part of the fallout of Sam's book is that...
Fallout?
Everyone's coming out of the woodwork. Now that it's public knowledge the Clancy Trust covers any root tree despite their history with us, a lot of potential cousins have surfaced.
Ooh.
You may have seen that man on the cover of News Time. It was a disaster for us. And then Miracle went and made it all about himself. The long and short of it is a lot of potential cousins just showed up.
Thank you, Owen.
Sam's helping some of them. But she's not really going about it the right way. And she's not taking calls from anyone in the family. I let it slip through a mutual friend that I found you, and I was stopping in. It's manipulative, but I'm hoping she'll reach out to you. You can let her know I'm on her side. In the meantime, if you're willing, I can share our files with you. Pass them along to Sam if she reaches out. I'm genuinely hoping she'll realize I'm an ally.
Root trees everywhere.
Feel free to do your own research. I've been told you enjoy things like this.
I do.
To each their own.
I do love a research puzzle. Okay, zoom out. So we've got all of our original stuff up here. And we can add to that if we wish, but this is where we need to be beginning. Okay, possible infidelity. Here are the years. Possible infidelity. Okay, so we're going from earliest possible infidelity to latest family tree update. So maybe we need to start early and go towards the later. You're a root tree. I'm a root tree. Everybody's a root tree. Alright, let's look at the evidence that we have. Notable events. Today is August 3rd, 1999. It has been 8 months since you helped Sam Madsen with the research necessary for her book. Sam was true to her word and paid you an incredibly large sum of money. She never mentioned you by name, however, so you've managed to keep a low profile. The root trees, on the other hand, have not. Below is a summary of notable events ever since the book's release, though you can refresh your memory in full detail by searching online. 6 pieces. Sam Madsen's book about Elias Roottree was released in February. It was a bestseller for a few months, and at the time, Carl had not yet been replaced. The Root Tree Rift. In March, the Root Tree Company stumbled publicly as they attempted to respond to the book's release, with multiple conflicting press releases and a clear lack of leadership. Then we have Clark. Clark was announced as the permanent successor to Carl Roottree and welcomed Sam Madsen to the family officially. The company hired an outside legal group to handle the changes to the Clancy Trust. This included any other new questions of lineage. 5 Ps. After this announcement, there was a rash of different people claiming to be root trees, mostly dismissed as opportunists and scammers. The highest profile of these, by a wide margin, was a rapper named Felix Fellows, who changed his moniker to 5 Ps as a publicity move at the same time. It's probably 5 Ps, but it looks like 5 Ps to me. 5 Ps is the only notable person on the updated tree. ROOTTREEMANIA. In another high-profile misstep, Miracle Root Tree publicly and vehemently denied that 5 Ps was a root tree. The Root Trees legal team then offered to do a DNA test to get 5 pieces off his claim, and in a moment that caught what seemed like the entire world by storm, the test proved he was a root tree. Suddenly, the world was obsessed with the root trees. Anonymom and Jane Doe Root Tree. Anonymom sounds like a superhero name. In July, an anonymous woman who the press began to refer to as Anonymom appeared in interviews with her face and voice disguised. She claimed that an affair with a root tree led to the birth of her daughter, aka Jane Doe Root Tree. If true, this would make her daughter yet another secret root tree and therefore entitled to a share of the Clansed trust. Nobody knew it at the time, but this would turn out to be the last chapter in the ROOTTREEMANIA saga. As more and more of Anonymom's story came out, people began to notice how much it echoed 5 pieces in nearly every significant way. The court of public opinion began to turn. Confirming the world's suspicions, the DNA test, orchestrated by lawyers on both sides, proved that her daughter was not a root tree. The final event caused public disappointment, smugness from doubters, and countless accusations of the entire ordeal being an elaborate hoax or attempt at fraud. Things got a bit ugly, and the fun of ROOTTREEMANIA seems to disappear overnight. Now, a month later, it feels like a distant memory. That was a lot of reading, lots of notable events. This is the previously on The Root Trees Are Dead. Also a few dead ends and red herrings. Okay. This is today. I feel like there's so much that I don't even know where to start. Anyone remember Octomom? I do remember that, actually. Okay, so 5 Piece is the only notable member. Looks like they're gonna go right here. So I suppose we could just start by... Oh, we have a new internet. Is this new internet? It's not. I just forgot that we had to boot it up like that. 5 Ps. AKA Felix Fellows is a rapper who found some recent radio play after being publicly confirmed as a long-lost root tree. Root of All Evil, his most recent album. 1 star out of 7, for whatever reason, with the headline More Poser Than My Action Figure Collection. The review mentions his real name is David, and he used to go by Dirty Davy. Jeez. Okay. So maybe it's David Fellows is his name? His rise to prominence was kick-started when he appeared a few months ago on the cover of News Time holding a photo of his mother with Guy Hudson. At first, the Root Tree Company denied it vehemently, but since then, they've backtracked and publicly welcomed him to the family. This is a character. That's what they called me in high school, is killing me. Okay, let's go to periodicals. I guess I have to search News Time first. Okay. Could this rapper be the next Sam Madsen? Okay. The story was dramatic and sensational and initially dismissed as fake. He's related to Guy Hudson. His mother, Joanna, was Zach Morton's secretary when he retired, and then Guy Hudson's secretary for only 1 or 2 weeks after that, before she quit. His parents divorced when he was 4. After his father learned of the affair, Felix and his mother then moved to Portland because she was afraid for her and her son's life. Okay, she got addicted to heroin. additional history. Felix Fellows was born to Riley and Joanna Fellows, but has never rapped without a moniker. He tried to find success by opening for other artists and even by selling CDs on street corners in Portland. He's only recently started going as 5-piece to harness the power of his lineage. Okay, so that means this this little icon is funny. Okay. So does this... Oh, okay, this person is also on the original tree. Got it. So this is going to be Guy Hudson, right? That's what I'm assuming. Can I bring back this original photo? Maybe I have to get new photos. So Guy Hudson, and then we have... Oh, interesting. Joanna... Oh, we have to figure out her last name. Probably Joanna Fellows, but we don't know that for sure. That's you. And you are... I guess we can classify you as a musician. Rapper would be more accurate, but that's all well and good. Okay... Let's see if it'll confirm by doing this. I don't know. Because Felix Fellows is still a moniker, right? So maybe it's actually David. That feels like it would be more accurate. Born to Riley and Joanna Fellows. So it did say her last name is Fellows. And this is Riley. We'll see if it accepts the last name. Okay. Last name Peas. First name 5. You need 4 to confirm, yeah. Okay. Wow, looking rough. Miracle Root Tree appeared on the cover of News Times shortly after 5-piece did. Didn't focus much on the details of his accusations regarding his mother and Guy Hudson. Instead, he comes across as exhausted at the events that have been going on behind the scenes, as well as the character of those he feels are attacking his family. He starts with 6 pieces content. He says that although most of the book was based in fact, it left out anything that wouldn't fit the agenda. He points out that Sam's daughter still earns a generous salary for overseeing the farm division of Root Tree, and that Sam did the same before her. That Sam's family was not destitute, and that really it was only her son who chose to take on a job with no salary. He claims that though they didn't have to, the family helped pay for her son's medical bills after voting that it was the right thing to do. Miracle also says that the story about his father Elias shunning EC was one-sided, leaving out Edward Clancy's blame in the whole thing. Elias gave him a simple ultimatum: stop sinning or be disowned. Miracle says it was EC's own choice and that Elias allowing him to earn food and shelter on the company's dime was a kindness, especially considering that he and John continued to live together. Yikes. Praise the boy will repent, retract his lies, and find religion. Boy. Lastly, he turns to the future. Miracle states that those that wish to hear the true story can join him on his farewell tour this upcoming fall. The Miracle's Root Tree are planning on touring the country's churches one last time, and that now at age 71, Miracle is the oldest living root tree. While he plans to continue preaching at his own church in Butler County after the tour, this is your last chance to hear the truth from the man that the most complete recollection of one of America's most notable families in your own hometown. Woohoo! The article mentions that Miracle's son did not wish to comment and has a statement from Clark. Miracle does not speak for his entire family. We're working carefully on a plan to definitively disprove any claims of infidelity in her family's past. The article also does not refute Miracle's claim that he is the oldest living root tree, despite Sam Madsen being born the year before him. It was unclear if Miracle made the claim out of ignorance or spite. Okay, who wants to bet that one of the Miracles was a cheater? I'll raise my hand for that one. I guess we'll snap a pic. Snap a pic of that. Okay, shorts. That's cute. Loving the fit. Okay, Joanna and Guy. Let's return here. Joanna, Guy. I like that they're looking at each other. That feels like a nice touch. So I guess I was gonna say I could add some additional photos up here, but it doesn't give me that option for the Miracles. Okie dokie. What did you do as a job, Joanna? Were you a housewife? No, you were a secretary, weren't you? You were the secretary before you quit. But yeah, you were the secretary, but then you quit after that. One day his mother never came home from the movie rental store where she worked. The next morning they found her dead from an overdose in her car. I skipped over that. That's very sad. Okay. What? Retail? Good morning, Carmen. Welcome in. He knew how to serve, unlike some other people. Sounds like it, yeah. Major yikes for sure. Okay, so I have possibly 3 people confirmed here. Looks like Guy Hudson got around. He had a few affairs, if we're placing him in the right spot. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like he got around. Uh-oh. Okay, what to look for next? Ooh, thanks for the hydrate. Thank you. Let's go back here. This is where I want it to be. Should I look up Root of All Evil, maybe? His debut album. All Your Problems was the first and only single released. After dropping the single, Five Piece announced he'd retained the infamous celebrity lawyer Stevie Whitlock to sue his family. To date, it doesn't seem like he's followed through. At first, the single didn't make much of a splash, but Whitlock, known for publicity stunts, paid thousands of teenagers a few dollars an hour to call and request the video on MTV, which increased its profile. MTV eventually caught on and banned the video altogether, which in turn received national news coverage and made the song even more popular. Okay, how about Stevie? A lawyer with a history of publicity stunts and grandstanding. Still, she's managed to rack up quite a few legal victories for C-list celebrities and athletes. She became famous in the mid-80s after successfully suing a multinational sandwich company whose 12-inch subs were actually an average of 11.5 inches long. Drama. Stevie argued that since the company sold 1 billion sandwiches per year, that was enough missing sandwich to make a sub long enough to span from New York to Los Angeles. The jury awarded her a paltry $5,000, but the news coverage of her crusade turned out to be priceless. Unfortunately, none of this seems related to the root trees. That's hilarious. Okay. I could look for Dirty Davy. That didn't give me anything extra. David Fellows, so that is his birth name. According to fan sites, Felix Fellows is not Five Piece's actual name. His birth name is David Fellows. Dirt poor. I doubt that this will bring up anything, but we'll try. It did. Felix Fellows includes someone that would be revealed to be his own distant cousin in a list of attractive women. No! Oh boy. The lyrics to one of his songs, Heat, mentions a few different prominent female actresses, models, and musicians from the 90s, and provides a crude pun or line about what Fellows felt about them. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, does Modern Music Monthly have anything about? No. Okay, I feel like I have not learned anything that will help me so far. Apparently there are 2 hints that I can get from this. I think that I've already gotten. Married names or nicknames won't be enough. So do you think that we have to find Joanna's maiden name? Probably. Maybe we need to, I don't know. She was Zach Morton's secretary. What's his full name? Zachariah. I feel like I'm spelling that wrong every time, but I'm not. It just looks weird to me. It's okay, Felix. Maybe I need to look up Guy Hudson. Missed the N. Oh, okay. There's an older version of this page in the Time Travel Archive. Interesting. Okay. We'll get to that in a second. That's probably what we've seen before, though, I would imagine. the only president of Root Tree for a few years in the late 70s and early 80s. Few people that existed adjacent to the company in the 70s have come forward with stories about debauchery and swinger parties. Guy liked to throw large holiday parties whenever he had an excuse, and they often got very out of hand. Butler County Police. Root Tree's lawyers have been quick to threaten litigation from anyone who has tried to disparage Guy or the company in public. I'm looking up the police. Okay, I guess that doesn't get me anything. Okay, so yeah, Guy definitely got around with the parties that he was throwing. I don't want to right away start using hints, so we're not going to do that yet, but I am feeling a little bit stuck. There's one thing that I can glean from this. I would assume it's just his identity, the picture of him. Perhaps he cheated, which we discussed in chat, but where would he go? Calls him a grifter and delinquent. Exposes the world to hatred. That is an interesting thing for you to say. Okay, you're claiming to be the oldest living root tree at 71. And it's 1999 right now. Does that mean... Okay, so this little icon means that they were on the original tree. Don't be a hypocrite, impossible challenge. Is it possible that he goes here? Also, are you the which miracle are you? That's another question. Oh, you're the OG. You're the OG miracle. He may not go here. I was just, speculating. But I'm assuming since we have his picture that he is going to go in one of these green trees. Okay. That's the only evidence we have. This has the most information. We could look up Clark or the Clancy Trust. I guess we could also... Oh, I forgot about this. I forgot about this bit. Let's look this up. Instead of claiming herself as a root tree, she claimed she'd slept with Guy Hudson and that her daughter was a root tree. Okay. Article about herself in News Time. Sam Madsen publicly supported Anonymom due to some parts of the story she found particularly credible. With the momentum from Sam's endorsement, Anonymom went on a media blitz. Ultimately, this backfired. As more details came out, people became skeptical of her story due to the extreme similarity. Her accusation even included many of the same details as his mother's story, including her job and the time period. Okay. This was announced at a joint press conference. Immediately after the negative results were released, many of those who had already been skeptical felt vindicated. Others who had built up hope that history could repeat itself felt duped. Though it was scientifically proven that Jane Doe root tree is not a root tree, this does not mean that her mother and Guy Hudson were not involved in an affair. She had every right to make her claim, as it has been verified that her stories about Guy Hudson were not exaggerations. Please leave their family alone. Jane Doe root tree has already been eliminated as a potential new root tree by company lawyers who are the ones verifying your work. A non-mom's affair does not appear on your updated tree. Okay. But we could still look her up here. Printing Jane Doe. Here we go again. The anonymous woman claims to have had an affair with Guy Hudson while she was working as his secretary. She and another woman were hired at the same time during a transition period, while many of the secretaries that had worked under Zach Morton were already gone. She says that she and the other woman were both underqualified, as neither had typewriter experience. According to other staff members interviewed, Guy had his own requirements for hiring women. Ooh, okay. Okay. T. She confronted Guy when she found out she was pregnant. Guy didn't seem fazed, and they came to an arrangement. He paid her a significant amount of hush money on a recurring basis under the table. I don't think this actually helps us any. I feel like this is a dead end, so let's go back to this. We could try looking up Roottree-mania, just in general. Daytime talk shows had an I'm a Secret Root Tree episodes. Gwen's old... Okay, wait. Lasted only a few weeks, just long enough for 6 pieces to re-enter the charts and to trigger new printings of other Root Tree related media. This included Lauren's diaries, VHS releases of Gwen's old movies, as well as countless other unauthorized biographies, which mostly seems to attempt to capitalize on the Root Tree sisters, Carl and Brenda. Maybe we look up this? No. Ruby Legal Enterprises maybe can help us with something. The name of the law firm that has been hired by the Root Tree Candy Company. The company is named after its head lawyer, Ruby Spratt. Ooh. Okay, so we have two names to look up here. This one. Relatively elusive, the most complete source of information you can find from before her time with the Root Trees is from the website for a magazine owned by a major airline. She was the subject of one article from a recurring series about modern-day success stories. Okay, grew up in foster care. The blurb ends by calling her new firm a double threat. Her company's services are at a cross between a traditional lawyer and a PR manager. How about this person? Author, so we have a book title. Nonfiction. Okay, appeared in a magazine called Picote with an article about a book she had been commissioned to write for Guy Hudson. The magazine and Cicely herself were immediately issued a cease and desist due to its inclusion of pictures that she had never had the rights to publish. Okay, so that's tea. That's tea right there. Wait, huh? A category of flower with an outline around the edges of its petals. But that's a magazine also. Okay. Cicely Sanchez. Out of print. What was the other one? Foreign Gospel. Also out of print. Well, that didn't get me anything. Why can I not look up the magazine? The issue is pulled from store shelves, making it an instant collector's item. Okay, so we probably won't be able to find it. Okay, so I just had to type it in manually. Got it. Okay, slay. Weird. This was the issue of Picote magazine that contained an article about Cicely Sanchez. It seems that it used photos of Guy that Cicely did not own the rights to publish. Unfortunately, the magazine was issued a cease and desist, blah, blah, blah. The magazine was pulled from shelves, and the version you found in your periodical search had the relevant pages removed, rendering this magazine useless. Unless you want to read about a potentially demonic fish toy. It's funny that they put a literal red fish here, as if it were a red herring. But it does say that I have 8 things that I could get from this. So maybe it's not as much of a red herring as we think. Although, maybe it is. I feel stuck as heck. Butler County, Pennsylvania. I guess I could look at the Butler County periodical. Good morning, Angela. Good to see you. This is... I suppose this could be our Anonymom and Jane Doe, but I thought that it said that they were not included on the updated tree, which is what we're working with. How are the baby chickens? They're good. They're all starting to get along a lot better, so that's good. We have officially named them. Diane is one of them, and Zip is the other one. Zip is very small and very fast, hence the name. The name Diane just fit the vibes, so I don't know how to explain that any further. Little babies. I am going to use a hint. I'm sorry. You haven't searched for everything on your list of notable events. Use this, okay, 6 pieces. Okay, so, oh, this is the book by Sam. Got it. Okay, that'll help. That will help. Okay. Let's check this out. And this is the missing root tree. I will need you to make a video of him with the Welcome to Zippy sound over it. That is a good idea. Okay, most of the relevant rumors coincide with the reign of Guy Hudson, who took over as president in 1978. Very much not a fan of Guy, and according to 6 Pieces, it was an open secret within the family that Guy was very much not a fan of remaining faithful to his wife, Patricia. Many of their hires at the time were young single women, and Guy often spent a lavish amount of money on private parties. This was 20 years ago, and Sam warns that most of it is hearsay. Still, you find the following information that may be relevant. One of Sam's farm supervisors was named Elizabeth. Elizabeth had a daughter who Sam never met, but who worked as one of Guy's secretaries. According to Elizabeth, a caterer from a local restaurant called Antonellis met her daughter at one of Guy's parties, and they eloped quickly due to a pregnancy. Elizabeth wasn't aware that the party was for swingers. Rumor has it that her daughter showed up with Guy and didn't seem comfortable switching partners. Okay, so Elizabeth is somebody that we need to look up. Guy's main positive contribution to the company involved expanding to markets previously untapped by Root Tree. However, when he went on trips overseas, they were often for weeks at a time, and Guy was known for spending more time and money on unofficial business than meeting with distributors and manufacturers. It was said that he bribed at least one politician to open a factory in Brazil. There is also a section where Sam speculates that Elias may have also cheated on Gwyneth. Gwyneth was always much kinder to Sam than Elias was, and was the first to invite Sam to family events. While she has hardly no evidence, Sam always got the impression that Gwyneth was able to coerce Elias into allowing Sam back into the family using some kind of leverage, instead of it being a natural course of events. She mentioned that Elias and Gwyneth were known to loudly argue, sometimes about another woman. Sam also says her son Ernie once asked her, "Who's Beth?" because he overheard them yelling about someone with that name. As far as Sam knows, Elias once had a secretary named Elizabeth, a different Elizabeth than the supervisor from the farm, but she never met her. Okay. Ooh. That feels like a lot of information. Let's try looking up Antonellus. Because that feels like the most basic. Antonellus. May need to use a local source. Okay, owner's name. Christine Garland responded. She and her husband Steve, who was a chef at Antonellus, met years ago when she delivered produce from her mother's farm. And they eloped. Now she has a bun in the oven. They're both working as much as they can. Okay, 2 names to look up here. Nothing. Okay, how about here? What about Steve? Mentioned in a couple articles. The second is from months later in 1978, a listing for his weekend cooking classes. The third was from 1991 and is titled Local Author Sued by Former Butler County Resident. It seems that a local author by the name of Mark Zimmer was sued by Garland after Garland saw Zimmer promoting his book Kitchen Tales on television. Okay. That doesn't feel like it's going to really go anywhere. Although, perhaps it will. Okay. Can we search for Christine any other place? Perhaps. Do you have a book? Or, yeah, Kitchen Tales by Mark Zimmer. Out of print. Re-released as Garnishing the Truth. What did I do? Could the author have published under a different name? I don't know. Credited to Garland and Zimmer. Oh. Christine, thank you for everything. Your support means the world to me. You're the apple of my pie. James and Robert, you're becoming amazing men and incredible chefs. I guess I'm a good teacher. Oh wow, this is a lot. This is a lot of information here. We'll come back to this. I want to see what we got here. Okay, yummy. Yummy, the plated loaf. This is interesting. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna need to use a hint again. The root tree rift. Okay. This doesn't help me. 3 press releases. Okay, so we have the first. Ooh, 10-string streak. Look at you go. Stated that there was no president of the Root Tree Company, but that the entire family was made aware of the release of the book. Blah, blah, blah. Verifying the legitimacy. Second release was emailed to business newspapers 3 hours later. So I could look this up in the newspaper articles. A third, much shorter press release came the next day. Okay. Okay, so here's something, but it's not printing me any new evidence. So could anything else be talking about this? Probably not. Okay, at this point, have I looked at all of the notable events? Yes. Okay. We've looked this up before, but we'll do it again. Root of all evil. All your problems. Madsen Chicken are 2 dads. Somehow we're the sinners because we didn't earn it. When all of your worth it came free with your name. You expect me to treat your lectures on greed as some expert creed from he without blame. You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away. Okay. It doesn't tell me that I can really gain anything from this, so... A transcript of only Caroline's answers have been posted. They never tried to kick me out or send me to live on a farm, if that's what you mean. But I was already pretty unpopular, and once everyone learned why I divorced my husband, few people paid me any attention. She's my wife, not legally, but we've been together for half our lives, call it what it is. I was 20 and had just had my daughter. I hate to look back on that time because I was a terrible mother the first few years. I left my daughter with my ex-husband and followed Guy on a private jet to Europe. He lost a tooth and a client. I found love and a better understanding of who I was. Still, in our family's eyes, his trip was somehow more acceptable. Explain that. So we find out that Caroline's a lesbian, which the root trees do not like. With Carl, all I can say is we used to be friends before they sent him to private school. He came back a lot judgier. Made sense when they made him president. He was a lot like my father after they disciplined the fun out of him. After I started protesting the farms, he stopped returning my calls. When I was a teenager, he was basically drunk or high or both all the time. He actually used to sell me pot. His problems with women were different than guys, but he never really judged me. I guess he knew it would be hypocritical to judge anyone for anything. Back then, he was destructively unreliable in every way, but nowadays he's just kind of boring and old. I prefer that to how he used to be, and to Guy and Carl, but it's still a cautionary tale. I hope that I'm never boring and old. Okay. So does that mean that Caroline's going to be on the list of affairs and her partner will be a woman? Where is Caroline? It's been a minute. Caroline. Oh, duh, that makes sense. Totally makes sense. Yeah. We suspect that Elias and Gwyneth had marital problems as well. Elias... Okay, so that's 1908. This is probably going to be Elias here in 1921. I would suspect. Oh, book? Bess Williams's book appears to have been taken down. Family Man. Widely considered blatant propaganda. Slay. I'm just assuming he's going there, you know? The reissue of this book was so lazy that they reused the famous photo of Elias from Business Watch, whose copyright had expired. The best thing it has going for it is that it's only 85 pages long. Okay. I guess we can look him up in Business Watch.
It's so cute. Are you shitting me? Capitalism really popped off today, ladies.
Oh, Alzheimer's. Minor backlash, but towards the reporter that tracked Lauren down because they were caught standing on a ladder and holding their camera over a privacy wall to take a photo of Lauren and her son Clark. Ick. What is the name she used in her writing? Rafferty. There we go. When revisiting Lauren's book, there's a single passage that focuses on potential affairs. Okay, sick. Hi, Kat. Welcome in. I love the rain ambiance. So good. An entry entitled Cruelty from Lauren Roottree's diary, written in 1963, focuses on the relationship between her mother and father. My parents are a perfect match in the worst way. My mother's cruelty is a perfect fit for my father's general spite. In turn, Pops' status enabled her incessant need to gloat and feel superior. Even my family remains unspared. My parents have never had eyes for anyone outside their marriage. They're too self-centered to look astray. Interesting. What does this mean? Okay, nothing. Nothing, I guess. Oh, it's Sam because of the lisp. I see. Who were her parents? Clancy, Edward, and Sarah. Man, okay. What was the website that had the email address? Man, that was... It's your website. How did I get there? Because I don't have that in my notes anymore. Dang it. Oh, brother. What was his website called? I don't remember. I don't remember. Yes, I know we found him using his email. As if I was gonna have that just off the top of my head. You spelled fiance wrong. I'm dead. The photo was on Chris Rafferty's website. According to Chris, it's a photo of him, his father, and Guy Hudson. Look at him sneering. While they were distracted, he snuck into the supply of chocolate they kept for visitors and tours. Chris Rafferty did not know who the woman in the photo was. So this is Clark. Because that's his father, right? I suppose I can add this photo. You don't have any additional photos, so this is going to be a new woman. Perhaps just this woman, even. The fact that we have a picture available of Clark makes me think that he is going to be... Oh, well, maybe it's just this. I was going to say, I feel like that means that he's going to be one of the affair people, but I suppose not. Thank you for the hydrate. The child of those people was not in the previous tree. Was anyone pregnant in the last game? That was her, right? Stephanie? She was pregnant? She and Brian? The way that I literally just forgot her last name. Jones. Our daughter was named after her grandmother. She was born the night before Christmas. Okay. They're cute. Stretchy Man, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome in. Okay, so... assuming that we've got this going on. Brian, Stephanie, politician. Yay! Finally got some confirmation here. Yeehaw! Thank goodness.
Has Clark reached out to you? Well, let me give you a short history lesson about the last few months of my life. 3 different people contacted me, claiming that somewhere in their history, they might be root trees. First, that young man, the rapper. I ignored that one. He seemed dubious. But then I saw the news. I felt terrible, so I began helping the others. Because my doubts with Felix were so misfounded, I ended up putting too much faith in the second person that approached me. I went to the media prematurely. I admit my mistake there. But the third person who contacted me also had a credible case. Before I could help, the company got to them somehow. The fact that the family silenced them doesn't seem to fill me with hope when it comes to Clark's intentions. But you're making progress based on the leads he gave you. It's really hard for me to get a read on him. I'll let you handle it. I've sent you the case I've been working on, and some company records I managed to track down. The records are quite dense, but hopefully they're useful.
Thank you. Okay, I do want to figure out really quick. Her grandmother's name is Clara? No. Grandmother, Caroline. get to that later. Okay. Regina Clementine email. This is all of the information I have about Regina from New Orleans and her husband, Stuart. Her husband is a police officer, never knew his father, told her he thought he might be a root tree, but he's estranged from his family and didn't want to pursue it because he had no proof. Hi, Jordan. Welcome in. She wrote to me behind his back. Normally, I wouldn't be so sure, but she had some pretty credible facts. Stuart's mother was Mary Beth Clementine. Pretty well known in the 30s to 50s. Ooh, we're getting into the churches. This might be the miracle root tree line. Spent a lot of time at the Miracle Church. Here we go. She sent me a photo to prove that she's who she says she was. Okay, so there's a lot that we can get into here. Let's start by looking up Stuart's mother. Okay. Her repertoire was a mix of religious and popular songs. Her records are lost to time. New Edison. Sterling Edison? We'll come back to this. I want to go back to Mary Beth. She adopted 2 children in the late 40s, Stuart and Mark. She also spoke as an advocate for the benefits of adoption in front of the U.S. Congress, who were convening to debate and discuss the then recent first adoption of an African American child to a white family in the United States. Mary Beth had been twice divorced, both times to her manager Sterling. I did look up Sterling, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. Regina Clementine. What's the other name? Salazar. I didn't mean to highlight that, but whatever. I meant to do this. Copy paste. Nope. Wrong. Not what I meant to do. Okay, go back. Copy. Nothing. Okay, I would like to take that off because that's gonna bother me. Her husband. What does this mean? Can somebody enlighten me? Does that mean it's their maiden name? Perhaps? That's what I expected it to mean, but I could be wrong, and so that's why I'm asking. Okay, yeah. That's what I figured. He has no web presence. Gotcha. What's in here? Okay, got several pages of staff records. cross-referencing Guy's secretaries and visits overseas. Spider searching people just because they are listed in these books will likely be very time-consuming and a waste of your time. Okay, leadership, office staff, secretaries. I do want to know about Elizabeth Knox, because we've heard that name before. Okay, I guess that doesn't matter. Robertson. Her maiden name. That's important. Okay, so we have Joanna. This is an important Elizabeth also. Stewart is also listed here, but that's a different last name. This is also the first page that we've gone through, so next page. In 1977, it was announced that Zach would be retiring and Guy would be taking over in 1978. Retirement party. These are the changes that took place. Christine Farrow is hired as a secretary. Huh. Okay. So it seems like very often what happens is they're hired when they're single, and then they get married while they're employed there. I'm thinking... Okay, there are multiple... most of his affairs, his affair partners got married at some point. Except for one. But... If we're going based on timeline, I think Christine would be after Joanna. Like immediately after. But it could be Beth. Wait, Beth was mentioned with another possible affair, right? I do think that this is Christine, though. And this could be Christine. And Garland is her married name. Beth Knox 50-year work anniversary bonus. So Beth has been here a long time in 1976. Yeah, I think that this is Beth. But No longer employed by Root Tree. She got her work bonus and then dipped. Did she retire? Beatrice and Corrine are hired. Julia and Doris are no longer employed. Oh, this is so much. So much. And here come all the all the parties. Oh boy. 4th of July spectacular, huh? Jeez Louise. Yeah, the extra content has been fun. It's definitely harder. It's much harder than the base game, but I'm enjoying it still. Also, welcome in. It's good to see you. Okay, I think I'm getting too caught up in this. Let's return. Okay, so Stuart is claiming that he could have some root tree lineage, and we saw Stuart Todd. When did we... Okay, this is where we have all the Elizabeth stuff. According to Elizabeth, a caterer from a local restaurant met her daughter at one of Guy's parties and they eloped quickly. This is the Beth that has to do with Elias and Gwyneth. And that's going to be this one, I think. Thanks for the lurk, Aaron, and enjoy your lurk. But we don't have a picture of Beth, and so we can't confirm her identity quite yet. Do we have another... this? A woman named Regina came to her and claimed that her husband had confessed he thinks he's a root tree. Stuart is the older boy wearing a vest. This is Mary Beth, a singer who may have had an affair with Root Tree. Miracle Root Tree. I'm assuming that this is Miracle back here. Let's just snap a pic of all these people. So Miracle would have to be... I think that I was right about this before. Mary Beth Clementine was a musician. We don't know her spouse's name, but this is Stuart, I think, unless we have two pictures of Stuart, which is possible. But not likely, because I think he's still with his current partner. And there's a younger brother. So, okay. Stuart, Clementine, and Regina, Clementine. Stuart is a police officer. This is the picture that we have of him right now, so we're using that. You... don't know your name. I'm assuming this. Okay. You have a photo of Stephanie's baby. There's a clue about the baby's first name. Committed lurker. Thanks for lurking. It's going good. I've had to use the hint system quite a bit just to get me moving, but usually once I use like that first little hint, I can get myself going again. Maybe it's Carol. Because she mentioned Christmas. Oh, Jones. Carol Jones. Occupation, baby. Yay! Too good. It's a full-time gig, you're right. Awesome. No new evidence though, which kind of stinks. Oh, and I got her name wrong because it's Salazar, I think was her maiden name. Okay. I am still on Caucasia and it's going well. It's just going really slow because it's kind of a dense read for me. So I just haven't been flying through it or anything. I'm also listening to the audiobook of Beach Read by Emily Henry, which is going much faster because it's a romance, and so it's like it's just way easier to digest. So that's what's been keeping me like in the reading spirit because it's easy. And then Caucasia is like my difficult read, but a valuable read. I'm enjoying it and I'm annotating a lot in it. But it's just really slow going. Like, I think I just reached 100 pages. And I've been reading it for several weeks. So, it is a dense one. How did I not get her confirmed? What's going on with that? Mary Beth. Is it because you're not doing music anymore? It ended her career, so what did she do? Did she become a housewife? That's what I would guess. Ooh, yes, you should. That'd be cool. Let's get a hint. Unashamed. Oh, okay. So it was her name that I messed up. Well, I guess she could be Edison, but I don't think so. Wait, I'm getting myself confused. Sterling Edison. Is he the one that she married? But yeah, both times to her manager. Okay. Sterling Edison? Let's keep her as the musician for now. But it said something about her birth name. One of your periodicals might have more information. The old rugged cross. Quaker. Oh. Okay, interesting. Absolutely. All right. I'm wondering whether the French book I read should be a new one or one I've read before. I would lean towards the latter also, because then you could compare. Yes, it did. It did say that. Then you could compare. I don't know if you've ever read I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, but it is originally a French book that was translated into English, and it's like a dystopian type of book, and it's pretty short. That is the book that I would like to have in French, because I've read it in English and really liked it, and I think that it'd be cool to have the original language as well. I'll buy a copy and yeet it over the Atlantic, please. You should look into Mary Beth's children. Oh, it has both of their first names. Duh. Okay. It totally did. Mark. What does Mark do? I keep clicking on evidence when I mean to click on the computer. Mark Clementine. Crocodile Clementine. It's a massive list of criminals who are known for odd crimes. He lost his job in 1975 as a pilot. Arrested for transporting smuggled animals over the Canadian and Mexican borders for an illegal reptile supplier in Los Angeles. What? His mugshot from this incident has been added to your photos. Wow. That's wild. Okay, so is your occupation being a criminal? A felon? I guess your last occupation was as a pilot. Were you married? It says that you're married. Did they split though? They did split. Being from Los Angeles. Basket baby of 1950. A real life baby Moses situation. Baby is a viable occupation but not criminal. Right. I'm trying to find his ex-wife's name, or ex-partner. I'm assuming that he's a straight man, but I could be wrong about that. He has a daughter, Billy Sims. Sandstone Canyon High School. Wow, what an interesting situation here. Okay. So it's mentioned in a lot of articles about the Billy Sims incident. I guess... Where was that? In San Diego, so it's not going to be in the Portland Telegraph. Where's Butler County? That's in Pittsburgh, I think. Billy Sims. Sims's wife, Carla. Colleen Webb, Mark's ex-wife. What languages would I like to learn? Obviously, French is on my list. It would be really cool to learn something like Japanese, and I think the reason why I'm like into that idea is because I've watched anime recently, and so I'm like, oh, it'd be cool to be able to like listen to some of these shows in their original like languages and stuff. So that would be cool. I've dabbled in the Irish language a little bit. I think that it would be super sick to learn a language that wasn't often spoken in like Western culture, I guess. Like not something that isn't classified as a romance language, because everybody has aspirations to learn things like Spanish and French and Italian and those types of things. Although it would be really useful to learn Spanish. It would be useful to learn all kinds of languages. And I wish that I took more time and like intentionally tried to learn languages. But I think my problem is that when I'm learning a language, it's a very solitary act, and so I never get into like conversational language learning. And I feel like that's how I would really stick, is if I was speaking with people who spoke the language. Second daughter. So both of their kids are girls. Tried Gaelic. It is really cool. On the site, there's a list of famous people who've had a drink there, including the former president of the United States, not of the Root Tree Company, Kennedy. Stevie G. Steve Garland. Do we know that was his name? Where are the Garlands at? Oh, here. Stephen Garland. No, you're good. I enjoy this type of conversation. Because of a lot of anime in my younger years and as well as lots of video games and music, I've had a lot of passive Japanese learning, so I can actually understand a handful of words and phrases in speech, but writing and speaking it myself isn't there. Main motivation at this point is my deep interest in Japanese literature. Like with French, it would be crazy to read the original language. That's so cool. I love that. I know that I've read a little bit of translated Japanese lit before, but off the top of my head, I cannot remember any of the titles. Fry dye. Popular restaurant in Boston. My Boston homepage. These things. Beatrice. Nothing here appears to be relative to your search. Okay. Million Year Picnic. Comic book store. If you decide to visit the Million Year Picnic for the first time after playing this game, please tell the owner Tony that you heard about his store from the video game The Root Trees Are Dead by Jeremy Johnston. Fair warning, he has no idea that I did this and will probably be somewhat confused if you're the first person to tell him. That's funny. Funny and cool. Okay. Oh, saw it in Chef's signature. It's a magazine. Okay. Finally got something new to look at. Sitting down with the Garlands. James and Robert, two brothers. So these are their kids. Robert is younger than James. Okay. Let's stick him in there. How do I know which one is which, though? Robert jokes that although the age difference has left him delegated to wear the sous chef jacket his whole life, he doesn't mind. So Robert is this one. Robert is younger than James. Are they both chefs? I'm guessing. Yeah. The entire 20th century is my passion, though I found some greatness in the 19th. Edgar Allan Poe. Nice. Ooh, more stuff. More stuff.
Sam reached out to me finally. I think I have you to thank for that one. My family's in a bit of a rough patch. Even though the candy is selling better than ever, everyone is fighting over the trust. The majority of us want to dissolve it. On paper, it seems like the right decision. The arguments about what to do next are endless and heated. More than a few root trees are worried about losing their wealth. I don't think we deserve it more than anyone else. I love my family, my wife, my daughters, even my son, who I hardly ever get to see. I want to keep them safe and secure. But I didn't do anything to deserve this fortune.
I do not have any Super Bowl plans. I, to be honest with you, didn't even know that it was happening today until somebody mentioned it to me earlier.
Hell, I probably deserve it less than most.
I don't even know who's
It took
playing.
me way too long to get my life together. Okay, enough about me. Here's the deal. I can't stop the majority from voting one way or another. If you keep passing along potential root trees, I'll keep adding them to the list. On the other hand, there's been some leaps forward in genetics. It may sound like science fiction, but we can actually determine who's in the family just by testing their DNA.
I mean, sure.
What you've done so far has been very useful. Just keep filling out the tree and we'll prepare for the tests.
Okay, so you didn't give me anything. Crumbs. Okay. Okay, so their dad wrote a book. His parents are retired now. So does that mean... Can I... No. Retired is not an option. Maybe I can look up James and Robert and eventually get a photo of Christine. Unless that's Christine. Which is possible. But not confirmed. What's his name? Did I get that right? James, yeah. What's the book that mentioned? I wish I could just look up an author in the public library system and then it bring up like their list of books that they've written. But I guess that's not gonna work. Root tree curse. Okay, the initial search you came across Thomas Overwood's conspiracy page. 8 months later, the page still exists and is thriving. The visitor counter has reached 7 digits. More than one of his theories involve root tree deaths being faked. Guy's not dead theory. That's a lot of stuff. Interesting. The story, according to the website, is that Guy Hudson was a terrible president of the Root Tree Company and introduced multiple failed products. Something needed to be done that would put the company immediately and instantly back in the favor of consumers, so they killed off Guy Hudson and replaced him with a new president. This move immediately garnered sympathy, and the company recovered the next year, more popular than ever. The next president stayed much further out of the limelight, and some even theorized that he was simply Guy Hudson in an elaborate disguise, which is why he stopped appearing in public. That's crazy. That is crazy. The author of Six Pieces isn't real. Sam Madsen is an anagram for Am Madness. They're purposefully leaving hints for us. This guy. Heard it here first, yeah. 2000 is a leap year, and Overwood is looking for funds and volunteers to catch the root trees red-handed in Operation RT-29. He specifically mentions not to volunteer if you've ever drunk Spirit Cola. He doesn't go into why. Some people. Okay, this page has not been updated, so we'll go back to our evidence and see what we got here. Root Tree, Brazil. The daughter of his business partner in Australia named Robin. When his wife first approached me, though, it wasn't to talk, if you get my meaning. Uh-oh. On paper and in public, it was a marriage like any other, but in reality, it was more of a mutually beneficial agreement. Patricia enjoyed the company of women, and the swinger scene made that more accessible. I told her I wasn't interested in her and Guy. I found out later that if I had said yes, her next question would have been whether or not her husband actually had been there too. Huh. Okay. More pictures. Piketty does not label its individual photos. Both photos were instead under the shared label. Cicely was provided these photos by Root Tree Company for use in her book. There's a Christmas tree in the background, which is supposed to mean something. There's also someone else in the background, which from the last part of this game, we know that people in the background are important. Okay, this is Guy and Zach. I'm assuming this is probably somebody that we need to know. So now we seem to have all of the photos of Guy. Okay. Just rearrange the letters because they definitely left hints on purpose. I know. Due to the timing of Zach's retirement, there's only one person that could be. When does Zach retire? Okay, Zach retires in 1978. So it's gotta be Christine. I think. Suvi loves to bark at the wind. How dare the wind? Our master plan to pull all the strings behind the scenes is finally ready to begin. There's just one step left. The clues. So I think that this is Christine because this is in the picture with them shaking hands. And she was around during that time. Yeah, because Christine Garland has been hired. She's the same person. Okay, Christine leaves at that time. This is so confusing. Oh, what a puzzle. What a puzzle. yes, okay, Root Tree Brazil. What often happens with me in this game is I'll get so much information in one go, and then I forget to look up all of those pieces. To me, this just looks like a collage. I mean, in a way, it kind of is. Not caviar flavored 5 pieces. Small town. Newly elected local politician. Oh, this is so many words. It's too much. It's too much for my little tiny brain. Oh my goodness. And a dissertation published by a college student as part of their PhD. What about... Yes, daughter Robin Martin. We've had Robin mentioned before, who sold both businesses at the first opportunity. Okay. This is early 90s. Australia. Okay. What other? How about Root Tree, France? We've been to France in this game. Tristan Robert. Meant to be. It was a non-starter. Still alive, and you come across an interview unrelated to Root Tree. The article is in French. Guy was one of the worst men I have ever met. He approached my wife about having an affair, which she refused. He then kept insisting that this was the best way to celebrate the end of our business contract. I don't think he expected her to say no. I don't think he thought she would tell me what happened. I punched him in the face and refused to attend another meeting with this man. They lost a lot of money on this deal because not only was he a terrible person, but he was also a terrible businessman. Okay. It seems mentioning Pokemon sidetracks the question a bit. And the interview never returns to the subject of Root Tree. That's funny. Okay. And we have China. One of the companies created to manufacture and distribute. Summer of 1979. Okay. Mid-50s, when the deal happened, only had daughters, and his brother took control upon his death in 1986. Let's look you up first. current CEO is simply listed as, how do you say this? Shinyu? Doesn't list her last name. Let's try looking you up next. Okay, I get the same thing. She does appear in the family tree below Hongbo. So what's my favorite candy? I'm a big sour candy person. I really like sour strips, but very specifically the like generic brand of like an Airhead Extreme, because I don't like Airheads, and I don't really like Sour Patch Kids, but for whatever reason the generic brand of like a sour candy is so perfect to me and I love it. So that's my favorite. It's my very favorite. Okay. Yeah, we got that part. The article offhandedly mentions IVF. Okay, we have stuff in my evidence. This. Okay. How are you going to factor in? Where are you gonna go, I wonder? I would assume possibly one of the affair partners. This is... Used to get Airheads Extremes every time I went to the theater, yeah. Blueberry bread pudding. Apple pie bread pudding. Yum! That sounds really good. Okay, 45 in 1992. Could she be maybe the last affair partner? Or maybe this is a red herring, but I don't know. This is so much. Edson Soares mentioned a wife. I looked him up, didn't I? Maybe I didn't. Again, this is my problem. I see names and I don't always look at everything. His wife, Sonia. Return a page that lists a news anchor in Brazil. Okay. Thank you for the hydrate. Okay, so... Flavio. Newscaster. His mother's name is Sonia. Kisses from Brazil to Natasha. Okay. Yikes. Okay. There's so much. I feel that this is going to be the Brazil branch here. That's what I'm thinking. Currently dating a supermodel. I don't care about that. Near the beginning of 1979. Was it the first one? I think that this is... I think... They look like they could all be related. So this is what I'm thinking. Questionable, but... Is that right? Yeah, Edson. I can't put his occupation. He's a newscaster, is that right? News anchor? Sonia? Could just be housewife. I don't think that she would have been a secretary. She's in Brazil. And I don't have anything for the, when was that? The early 70s? No, the late 70s. 1979. 1978. Could have been in the early 80s though. Oof. Like, that feels right to me, but I might be wrong about that. One thing on there that could be the lead. He's dating a supermodel. So I have to look into her. Okay. Some of her magazines. Maybe I need to look her up in here. She runs a media empire. Mysterious woman named Sonia Alves. Girl, what? My favorite word? I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite word. Do you have a favorite word? Okay, continue to work in television. Her own media company. So what would that television media mogul, perhaps? Sonia Alves. Sun, the sound, the look, and the connotations. Very simple. Piece of Asia. Located in Pittsburgh. Oh, so Linda. Let's highlight that because I will forget that for sure. Piece of Asia. Let's look that up in here. First mentioned in 1981. They visited in late 70s with the rest of the leadership. Seems the first trip wasn't covered by the newspaper. Do we think that she would have been the last affair partner? If we find a second picture of her, then I feel like that is going to tell us that the answer to that question is yes. Here? No, that doesn't look like her. If we could get something to say, something that we looked up earlier talked about Christmas. Yes. The Roottrees visited Brazil around Christmas. So I think that I was right about that picture being them. Maple fire. In 1982, the factory was deliberately attacked in a case of clear arson. I think that I feel pretty confident about her going here, but I might be wrong about that. I really could, which would put her here, whoever that is. Unless they're the same person, but they don't look like the same person to me. I could be wrong though. That's just a side profile, you know? Oh yeah, I do like the French word for sun as well. That's fascinating. That is an interesting question to ponder. Let's grab another hint. You should look into the owners of Peace Asia. Focus on philanthropy. Huh, Lucy. Okay, so they have two. Wait. Our kids are completely the opposite. When we had Mark, we never even considered giving him a traditional name. How many? Okay, you're listed to have 2 kids. Meanwhile, my sister stayed in China. Let's look this up. Okay, same thing. Jerry and Linda were both born in China and fell in love during college. Linda's father led a large company, the article never names it. After it expanded to the US, Linda's father approved their marriage so long as Jerry took over the US portion of the business. Somehow Jerry and I were the ones sent here, and now we couldn't possibly imagine going back. When we had Mark, we never even considered giving him a traditional name. Meanwhile, my sister stayed in China and thrived there. Our kids are complete opposite, though. Mark couldn't wait to travel abroad as soon as he was old enough. He's actually in business school in China working with my sister. I don't think that'll get me anything new. We could try... Okay, I figured. What about... Yeah, okay, that's just gonna keep giving me the same thing. Let's just see. Linda, Jerry. I'm assuming Mark is the oldest. Are you a philanthropist? No. Let's look at that again. Well, it says that Jerry took over the business. It doesn't feel like she would be a housewife. I really could be wrong about that. So I need to look at all the Lucy Langs. Mid-Eastern University. We've seen that before. Kurt Hauser. Okay. Doesn't seem relevant. So it seems like this is the one that's more relevant. The Team Talon Claw. The Robotics Club. School's newspaper. Okay. Okay, mascot is the Spectres. Little Ivy. Okay. So I could look up Lucy here. If I could spell it right, then I could do that. There we go. Langman. Okay. Who else mentioned Mid-Eastern University? Somebody else did at one point. I know it's not the first time that I heard that. That feels so long ago, though. I don't know if it would really make sense for Lucy to be here, but we do have her picture. So we could try it. I don't know. Hi, Holiday, welcome in. Okay, I'm in the wrong place then. Only has one child and there's no indication of her ever being married. Oh, okay. Then I am fully in the wrong place. Let me just get rid of all this. Seems like Clue. It is kind of like Clue. We're basically researching a family tree and trying to fill in all the blanks. So I guess it's gonna be you two. See if I can remember. How to do this. CEO. Okay. Let's see if I put the girl in the right spot. It might not tell me. Well, we know that Guy Hudson had a lot of affairs. Oh, good. I'm glad I put them in the right spot also. Okay. I'm assuming that your occupation is a student right now. There's so much left to do. We're almost at the 3rd hour of today, so we're probably going to end kind of soon. Yeah, he does. He does. Billy Sims incident. Yeah. Oh, and Piketty. I didn't think about that. Love you too, Holiday. What am I looking at? Billy Sims. Once arrested. Huh. Daughter Mary. Okay. So that helps me over here. I think that Mary's the oldest, I'm pretty sure. 1999, I was 1 year old. Fuegos Fiesta. Used to be named Lucenda. Regional Mexican fast food chain. Okay. So regional, where are we at? Portland? Butler County? Business Watch. Okay. Nothing. Fine. Tosterito. Okay. Web on the web. Oh, travel agency. Perfect. Okay, that's great. Aw, she's cute. Oh, cutie. But does she go by Mary Webb? Her mother's maiden name? I guess that would make sense because her father's kind of a trash can of a man. Okay, are you married? Spiritual vacations. San Diego. Fans of boy bands. Okay. Corporate composition photography. One of them was from 1996 when Val, the former head photographer for CCP, did a Q&A with their users about taking pictures for promotional materials. Val does not wish to answer any questions from his photojournalism days, nor does he wish to talk about LBP. What is LBP? Telephoto. Back to this corporate composition photography. I have so many periodicals to look through now. IRC. Photography channel. How am I supposed how am I supposed to get where I'm supposed to go with this? Val was on the cover of Telephoto, but I can't just look up Val. Would it be Val Webb? Mayhaps? Or Clementine? How dare you make me think? That's what I'm saying. How about Mary Webb? Okay. A curious acronym. Yes. I thought I tried that. I guess I only searched it in the periodicals. What about Spiderweb? Wow, there are so many options here. Oh, brother. This is... There are oh. Here? Yes. Cam Lincoln. Okay, what picture did it? Lincoln Baby Photography website. Cam Lincoln reaching for his namesake. I guess he takes after his father. So Cam is named after a camera. That's creative. So I guess this is Val Lincoln. I would imagine that his occupation is baby right now until we know more. I guess we can look up Val Lincoln now. Valerie. As far as you can tell, there's no connection. So Val may not be his real name. Oh, right, okay. Okay, if I have his picture, then he is not gonna be the one. Oh, she. He? They. Okay. It's giving queer. Okay, so this is confusing. If I have a picture of them, I don't think that they go here. So I would imagine that they go here, but that's confusing because reasons. Okay, journalism? What is your... Won an award for photojournalism, but journalism is not... Photographer and journalism are both not occupations that we can use. Oh, this photo depicts Lisa Clementine. Oh, okay, now I'm understanding. So Val can still be here. This can be Lisa Clementine, who I didn't realize existed. Lost an arm in Operation Desert. So military would be their occupation. Val Lincoln's War on War. Okay, yeah. Now I'm tracking. Now I'm tracking. A little bit. Lincoln. Oh, switching those maybe, perhaps? Let me switch you guys around. Lisa Clementine. Military. Mary Webb. Travel agent. Let's look up Lisa Lincoln. Okay, military website, support group for immigrants. Not immigrant. Hello, veterans. Listed as a professor. Professor. Is that what I needed to know? Looks like it. Her surname at birth was Clementine. Okay, there we go. Ugh. This is, I think, much harder than the base game, I have to say.
Hey there, it's
Hey.
us. So I just have to say, the work you're doing here is fantastic.
Thanks.
So fantastic, in fact.
There goes Clark. Always the bad cop. Go ahead.
Well, our law firm, Ruby Legal Enterprises, is having trouble keeping up. They're actually begging us to stop submitting new root trees. They said it's getting difficult to verify your progress.
Well, you need this handy-dandy hint system that I have.
Well,
It's
consider
really
that a
helping
good
me out.
thing. I told Clark you'd get results.
She says that like I didn't believe her. Regardless, the bad news is it's going to take 5 potential tree additions before anyone locks in from now on. Good luck.
And keep up the good work.
Okay, that is going to be where we stop for today because I have hit 3 hours on this stream and I've got some house things to do. So YouTube, this is going to be goodbye. And if you want to catch me live sometime, you can find me on Twitch. There's a link in the video description that you can click on to follow me over here and get notifications about when I go live. Or you can continue watching the VODs here on YouTube by subscribing to this channel. And either way, no matter what you decide, I love you so much and I will see you next time. Bye.